Hello, thank you very much for clicking on this video. This is my very first visual novel review that is not strictly an otome game, so I really appreciate, I don't know, the viewership. I don't really know what the words are here on YouTube still. This is also the very first game where I received the game from the publisher in order to review it. And I am very excited that it was this game, B-Project Ryuusei Fantasia, to be my first one, as I was really looking forward to this game. It was on my list to play a visual novel that was not strictly an otome game, and I did it this year. I played this one, so I hope you enjoy watching my review of it. I sort of treat this video like it's a like a job fair, because this kind of ties into my review of Sympathy Kiss, which came out. It's like the video before that was released before. Thank you very, very much to PQube for generously offering me a review code of this game so I could play it, experience everything B-Project, and then make this review. I hope you enjoy. This is still my honest review. I talk about the good, I talk about the bad, and I talk about who my Oshi is in B-Project. So, enjoy! Thank you. Let's say you listen to me talk about the company Astario and your potential position, that there was a phone app development stuff and you were thinking like, yeah, I want a job. It's cool. I don't really want to work a 9-to-5 job. Life and work romance? Nah, that sounds whack. Well, I have a new proposition for you. Gondra Music is hiring an A&R for their idol project B-Project, and you might just be the person they're looking for. The 4 groups within the idol project have all seen considerable success since their start, and this was all possible through the hard work of their dedicated fans. Recently, they even performed at Japan Dome. Anyway, yeah, so coming off the high of achieving the goal of performing at such a big venue, a dome tour was announced recently. And as their A&R, you'll be helping the current members with music and stage production, but also with photo shoots, interviews, etc. Basically, you manage all 14 boys. What? That sounds like a lot of work? Tsubasa Sumisora currently oversees all 14 members of B-Project and does everything I just described. So, yeah, I think it's totally normal. She doesn't seem overworked at all. I don't see the problem here. Tsubasa is intensely dedicated to her job. Not only does she have a great ear for music, she genuinely cares about the 14 boys that she manages. She frequently goes and confirms everything is okay, even if that means going to their special all-boys on one floor of the condominium complex space thingy that they live in to help work out their personal issues. The 14 boys also love Tsubasa because she is genuinely very thoughtful when it comes to her job and ensuring that the boys are content, as well as producing good music. So, you would presumably work alongside her? Yeah. So, before I get into your potential work duties and who you will be working with and taking care of, let's talk about the art style. The art style of this game. Yeah, I got a break character at some point. I don't have a ton to say other than the art is easy on the eyes and overall quite nice to see. The CGs have like this soft look to me in like a comfortable sense. Occasionally I felt like the characters looked a little awkward in normal talking scenes, as the PNGs themselves are actually partially rigged like me, except I'm like fully rigged, which is pretty cool actually. They move around and blink and move their mouth while speaking, which is a neat feature of the game, but sometimes the movement is odd or a little unnatural, but I think that was inevitable because each character only has so many rigged movements. It was bound to feel awkward at some points. But the music, since this is an idol project game, I would hope that the music is good, and I have to say, yes, the music is good. I actually have been a fan of B-Project for quite some time now, and was ecstatic to hear that the game was actually getting localized. The background music, like the BGMs themselves, are nice and easy on the ears, but they'll often play instrumentals of the group's actual songs, or even just the songs themselves at times. I really like the direction all the groups go in, and there really isn't a song that I dislike. If I were to recommend anything, though, honestly, anything by Thrive. Just listen to any song by Thrive. They only come out with bangers, I swear. The Thrive's Tic Tac. I like Night Driving. I like Rap. I mean, I could just list out their entire discography. I just think they're pretty great. This is Thrive, by the way. Yeah, fun music. Now I need to talk about the system. So, not only will you manage these 14 boys and their everyday work life, you'll also have the ability to text, call, or even FaceTime them throughout the day. This feature is actually pretty fun, as the conversations often don't have anything to do with the current plot, and it's just like the characters' inner musings that they want to share with you. You can also send them cute stickers instead of a proper response, and it's fun. But how you answer these texts does actually determine what kind of ending you get, and also unlock special side stories for you to read after your long days of producing music, organizing schedules, and listening to the members' personal dramas. Yeah, they're very cute, so I recommend aiming to get them. Also, I guess I need to explain how the game kind of works. So there are not individual routes, but there are individual special ends. Based on your responses to things at the very beginning of the game, you'll either be placed into the backstage route or the alternative route, which are both fully composed narratives that feature half of the boys. So if you aren't seeing a lot of the guy that you want, he's just featured in the other narrative. So to be honest, I actually don't know what determines which route you get up in, as my choices at the beginning don't seem to matter that much when I boot up a new game. It seems like every other time I started the game, I got the alternate route that I didn't have in the previous save, so maybe it works like that, but I don't know, so don't take my word for it. Anyway. Yes, the one thing I do need to pitch is that there really are lots of extras. There's side stories where they're younger, from their younger ages when they were Bambi trainees. There are side stories of them in like weird different worlds. Like there's like puppets, there's like circus or something, there's like Harry Potter-ish, like, you know, wizarding world things. Yeah, there's like so much to do in this game actually, but besides just the main narrative. I think that's quite neat. So now that I am done going over all that, I will give you a brief introduction to the 14 boys you will be managing over. So, this is Kitakore. Kitakore is the first group to be created under B-Project. The idol duo consists of Ryuji Koreguni and Tomohisa Kitakado. They are more of an elegant, prince-like idol group that give off a bit of a mysterious aura. They are a duo. I know I said that, but yeah, it's like the duo group of like B-Project. So this is Ryuji, and this is Tomohisa. So Ryuji, I personally vibe with him. He's like a cat. He's like a little bit like a cat, I think, where he initially comes off as a little cold, but is quick to warm up to others. But yeah, once he does warm up, he's full of sassy quips and little jabs that are like, they're just sassy. They're not actually mean or anything. And as much as Ryuji likes the latest fashion and Chupa Chups, he takes his role of an idol very seriously, and you can really see that throughout his stories. So I really respect him as an idol, and as someone I could probably actually hang out with. His personal drama was also really interesting to me, to see how it was handled, and it really showed the importance of the found family that B-Project really is to these 14 boys. I thought it was nice. With Tomohisa is the true prince of B-Project. He comes from a family of doctors, but has decided to be an idol instead. He is shown to be genuinely rather prince-like. He is intelligent, he comes from a rich family, and is generally given opportunities to care about others in a princely way. I don't really know how to describe it, that's just how it is. But he does have a cute little gap in his personality. Because he's so rich, he doesn't actually like know how to function as a typical human in society, so he doesn't have a ton of social awareness, and he takes things really overboard in weird areas, or he just doesn't know how to make like tea, that sort of thing. So if you love prince types that are a little bit of an airhead, I'm sure you will fall for Tomohisa. The second group that's part of B-Project is called Thrive. I have mentioned Thrive earlier. They came together with the concept of being a wild type unit, with the meaning of the unit name being to captivate, which is not what the word Thrive means, but that is neither here nor there. I believe Thrive is the most popular of the B-Project units, and it's no surprise with the high level of singing and professionalism that you can find in the unit. Like I said before, all their songs are bangers. So, we have three members here. We have Yuta Ashu, Goshi Kaneshiro, and Kento Aizome. I'm going to talk about Goshi first. I could be wrong, actually, but I'm pretty sure Goshi is the most popular member of B-Project as a whole. This is hardly surprising as he is an incredible vocalist who takes great care in all things music. In fact, he has traveled overseas to hone his music skills before. Personality-wise, he is a bit of a loner and often acts a bit rough around the edges, but to me, trust me, he cares about the members just as much as everyone else does. He's just really tsundere about it. Honestly, a tsundere that can sing beautifully, I should have started with that because you'd probably be interested in him already. But to be real, I thought he was pretty childish in his own personal drama. Like, dude, you can't just ignore your problems. I do not think the route will turn away any fans of him, though. It's just a me thing. Next, I'm going to talk about Kento. Kento's a bit of a hard sell at first, I think. He doesn't appear to care all that much about being an idol, and he cares a lot more about flirting and with girls and skincare. So some might even say he's a narcissist. But as with all people who put on errands that are so aloof and don't care about anything, he actually cares a lot. He cares about his job, making his fans happy, and about the other members too. He just has some personal struggles he needs to work through. Yeah, I found his drama story to be one of the most interesting, simply because its approach didn't feel so pure. It felt like everyone else was expressing true emotions in his part. It was just really nice to see. Like, I didn't think they would... It was the only part of the game where I was like, whoa, what, really? Yeah, it was just good. I liked it. Good storytelling. And last, but absolutely not least, we have Yuta Ashu. Yuta has a personality so bright that it more or less balances the other Thrive members' gloomier dispositions. Gloomy is too strong of a word. They're just the opposing characteristics of each other, I suppose. In fact, even though Yuta's mannerisms tend to be a bit more childlike, he often seems like the mediator, like I just said. He cools them both off. He really cares about the two, but also has a mischievous side that comes out in the form of teasing his fellow Thrive members and others. Yuta's personal drama was really something I think every idol deals with to a certain extent, so I found it nice that they were actually depicting it in this game. It also interesting to see from the angle of, like, directly seeing the idol be affected by the situation, rather than from a speculative standpoint. Yeah, I thought it was quite good. Even if I think... It's tough, because with the type of situation it's hard to handle it 100% well. Like, no matter what, there's going to be a breaking point, I think. But I think they do the best that they could with it. I'm making it seem like way more serious than it is. Because it is if it was in real life, but in the game it's not that crazy. Anyway, the next group we have is Moons. Moons came together as a 5 cheerful members, I guess. They're like 5 members with big individual personalities. The origin of the group name is the first letter of their surnames. They generally release songs that are typically upbeat idol pop sound, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Their songs are pretty fun and uplifting. I just listened to the song Dancing Dancing the other day, and I was like, why haven't I listened to this sooner? And it's been stuck in my head since then. I actually really like it. They have, like, what the heck is that called? Mermaid, whatever. The mermaid one is good too. And Glory Upper's pretty good too. I think those are the ones I remember. Anyway, let's talk about the members. So the members are Mikado Sekimura, Momotaro Onzai, Kazuna Masunaga, Hikaru Osari, and Tatsuhiro Nome. Yeah. So I'm going to start with the leader, which is Kazuna. Kazuna is the leader of Moons. He is the perfectionist type who didn't think he was good enough for the role, but since he is the epitome of an honor student, he's obviously good enough for the role. Kazuna is generally very conscientious of his fellow B-Project members, but since he is always aiming towards the top, he compares himself to others a lot, and this sometimes clouds his actions. Regardless, he is really a hard worker and has quite a pretty singing voice, in my opinion. I liked his personal drama. It's a little cliche, but it worked for his character. Although I felt like it ended abruptly. Like, he was just like, I'm fine now. And I was like, well, I guess if you're doing great, cool. Because there's other drama to attend to. Next is Momotaro Onzai. Momotaro definitely comes off as a little unapproachable upon first impression. He is not very expressive and he doesn't talk a ton compared to his group mates, but once you spend a bit more time with him, you'll realize he is the kind of person that observes the situation before speaking, and he truly cares about the members, and he's really there for them when they are in need. Also, I would say his personality has a bit of a gap, as he's pretty passionate about his idol career. He gets really engrossed in it, and like he just wants to make the fans happy, to the point of perfection, I suppose. Yeah, I found his personal drama a little weird because I totally understand the emotions he was going through, but his conclusion towards the end, it ended in a weird way too, just like Kazuna's. It wasn't bad. It was just odd to me. Next we have Hikaru. Hikaru is definitely the mood maker of the group. He is friendly, cheerful, and loud. Hikaru easily talks to everyone in B-Project and always wants to go out and eat and have a good meal with them. Hikaru is actually voiced by the Shotaro Morikubo. It has been too long since I've heard his distinct voice. I loved it. I know not everyone does, but I just think it's so unique and fun. They've actually already covered Hikaru's drama in a different B-Project medium, so while I knew about the drama ahead of time, it was still touching to see all the different members and Hikaru himself react to it. Next, we have Nome. Tatsuhiro Nome. Tatsuhiro is the muscle. Like, look at him, he looks pretty muscly. I was going to say more, but I think that's it, he's the muscle. He is the athletic type that possesses a very calm, gentle demeanor. He cares over everyone in B-Project a lot, kind of like a dad at times. I think he's actually the oldest member of B-Project. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. So in that sense, it makes sense if he is. Even if he's not, it just makes sense. Sadly, I don't think Tatsuhiro got a whole lot of his own personal drama. It was mostly interconnected with another character, and I found it to be very sweet, but it wasn't great to get to know more about Tatsuhiro himself. Alas. And last but absolutely not least is Mikado. Yeah, on first impression, Mikado appears to be a smart, polite man with a good personality for variety shows, but he actually has a secret obsession. He is a huge otaku for the manga named Magical Girl Mamiri, that's what it is, and he goes crazy for her show. He collects her goods and watches the show like whenever it's on, things like that. I found his proper college student otaku but also an idol mix quite entertaining, and this carries over to his personal drama. His was genuinely quite nuanced, and it discusses some tougher topics. I really liked it. It was, I don't know, I just didn't think that it would be as deep as it was. I really liked it. It was like just written a little bit better. I felt like paced a little bit better than some of the other personal dramas too. Last, but also absolutely not least, the last group of B-Project is the newest group, Killer King. Killer King is the junior group of B-Project. They're young hard workers with kind of cutesier songs that kind of have an edge to them. I guess that's how I would describe them. Two members are twins is also a thing, like a selling point, I think. So we have Akane Fudo, Yuzuki Teremitsu, Haruhi Teremitsu, and Miroku Shingari. Yeah. So the twins are the ones with the two same last names. I know that's crazy. So starting with Yuzuki, Yuzuki is the older of the twins. I would describe Yuzuki as being calm, a bit my pace, and generally having a good time kind of guy. He's soft is probably the best descriptor of him. I wouldn't say he's shy. I mean, he is an up-and-coming idol for all, he's on stage performing, but he isn't nearly as outgoing as his brother. I always found texts from Yuzuki to be a nice little break from the game's drama, as they were never that serious, and they were just really cute, and it was easy to encourage him. Haruhi Teremitsu, Yuzuki's twin, and the other side of the coin, really. Haruhi is very extroverted, and he is a big yapper. He isn't always the best at reading the room, possibly because he always seems to be fishing for praise. Regardless, both him and his brother are hard workers, perhaps too much on Haruhi's side. Their personal drama is actually a bit serious, but I'm glad they were able to tell this kind of story in this game. Yeah. I think you should experience it for yourself. You may already know it if you're a big fan of B-Project, but yeah, it was all right. Next we have Akane. Akane is the leader of Killer King, and he is like the enthusiastic type of idol. He easily spreads smiles to others. Like that's like a common thing I see said about idols. He's gentle and friendly. He comes off as being easy to approach, and he's known. He's easy, or what's the word? He's quick to help others. Yeah. He's not just sunshine and rainbows, though, as Akane also possesses deeper feelings of inferiority and feeling like he isn't good enough. His personal drama involves some of this, so I'll just leave it at that so you can experience it yourself. Miraku is one of those guys that seems like the stoic, perfect idol. Honestly, he fits the description of robo-idol to a certain extent, in my personal opinion. He is the kind of person to embrace learning new things as just like an aspect of his life, and he's often seen as being distant and perfect because of it. Like, he's like further away from everyone else. But really, he's just actually very concentrated on learning and improving. So he may be quieter than the other members of Killer King, but he is a great support to the whole group, and especially Akane. And sadly, that's all I really have to say about him. I don't feel like I got to spend as much time with Miroku, even in his ending. All in all, I had a good time playing as a manager for these 14 idols. I found the narrative to be a fresh change from my usual one route for one love interest otome game, since half the boy stories are in one of the two narrative options. I liked the interweaving stories and drama, like it was all interconnected, while also each character feeling like they got their own individual scenes. I personally felt like the backstage route is better written narrative. Things feel more naturally interconnected, whereas the drama shifts from chapter to chapter with the alternative route. I felt anyhow. However, I did have some issues with this game. First off, I found the game's name pulling system wasn't working quite correctly in several areas throughout the game. Like, it would show this player name Chan instead of like the Tsubasa or whatever you inputted as the name. It's not a big deal. It's definitely something that could be fixed in a patch, but yeah, I don't know, something, it was like a little like, wait, what? Every time it came out. I think that's the biggest issue with the dialogue, though. The translation is pretty good and there are minimal spelling errors. The bigger issue I have with this game is purely on the developers, I think. Not the localizers. So it's with the UI of this game and the load times. It was weird how unseamless switching between the systems in this game are. To get a text message, you can either select your phone or hit the line button that appears in the top left of the screen when the line button works. And I'd say it works most of the time, but when it doesn't, you have to open up your cell phone. That honestly takes like several seconds. It's odd that it's not seamless for such a simple game like a visual novel. This is the same thing happens when you try to look at previous dialogue, or when you're trying to go save the game, or basically anywhere that the UI has to do some work. It takes much longer than anticipated. It's not game breaking, but it is a bit janky. I also found that when switching scenes in the game, sometimes the dialogue box will disappear. I found myself waiting several times for the dialogue box to pop up again, but I actually had to hit A to get the story to progress. It was weird. I never got used to it. I just felt like it was a really weird choice. I've never experienced that before in a visual novel. So, also the CG freaks me out. Like, Tsubasa's face weirds me out. Like, what is that face? That's like neither here nor there, though. It's just a personal opinion type of thing. All right, so my best character is, so yeah, those are my only complaints about the game. The stories themselves are entertaining, and occasionally they hit emotional nuances I wasn't expecting. But I give like, so for this concluding statement, this is my favorite character. I'm gonna talk about him for a little bit longer, but I'm also gonna give you who my Oshi, my favorite like idol in B-Project is. But first we have Mikado. See, I think he's the best character in the game. He's so charming, and I felt like he handled his problems the best out of all the characters, to be honest. I also found his personal drama to be quite realistic and cover some topics that are darker, but it's a reality of life, and it was handled with nuance. Even like the message that his personal drama is trying to get across, this has a bit more nuance in it than some of the other characters. He is also just like a nice guy. I feel like I could actually be friends with him. But my Oshi in B-Project, which is more about who I support the most as a performer idol, is Yuta! I love Yuta. His personality and voice just really suits the character he's going for as an idol, and it's fun. It's just fun to see a cutesy character that occasionally shows more of a spicier, mature side to him. I also love Hanae Natsuki as a voice actor, so it's just not super surprising that Yuta is my Oshi. Yuta also has pink hair, which is my ultimate weakness in masculine presenting characters. For some reason, even more than red hair. But since it's rare, like it's more common for characters to have red hair, or male characters to have red hair instead of pink hair, I don't talk about it that much. But anyway, yeah, I love my pink hair dude. My light stick glows pink at B-Project concerts. I still love B-Project's music, and I was listening to their songs on repeat while playing this game. And I think if you love B-Project, you probably already have or plan on getting the game. But if you're new to 2D idols and you want to pick up a Josei Muke game, like a visual novel aimed towards a female audience or feminine audience, this is a pretty decent place to start. There is a ton of content outside the main narrative as well. So although I beat the game in like 40-ish hours, like the two main narratives, the extra content got me to about like 50 hours of more playtime. So like, wow, that's like 10 extra hours of just like extra fun things to do with your idols. It's not bad. And I personally, as Trip Starlight, more likely to recommend you an Otome game. Yes, but I don't think this is a bad option if you're looking for something slightly different. Thank you again for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please like the video and subscribe if you would like. More visual novel reviews are always in progress, constantly in progress. I am playing Tengoku Struggle Stray Side right now. I may switch to another game, but as of this recording, I'm about to go on a plane ride to Japan, so I have a lot of time to play Otome games. I'm pretty excited about that aspect, not the 13-hour flight part, but the other... the playing the video games part. Yeah, I like that. So if you enjoyed this and would like to know when my next review comes out, please subscribe. Otherwise, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for watching the video. Thank you very much to PQube for allowing me to... Thank you very much